Okay, some basic ways that you can massage, help move things in your body. And it's really nice to also think of not just physical massage, but also energy clearing and energy massage, where you're basically going from stagnation to movement. And one nice thing is to rub your hands together first to actually build up some heat and also some energy. I often feel into it and I feel like I'm building an energy bubble as I'm rubbing, as I'm heating up. And there's different ways of doing this. If you're doing this on a person, it would be different. Another person, but on yourself, just rubbing your hands together so they're really, really hot. And then just placing them on your face, on your eyes, and breathing. Just breathing in that heat, breathing in that energy into the body. And we're going to relax, that we're going to help release the stagnation, tension. And then I often just like by stroking the face, down the sides, down the nose, across the cheeks. One of the things that this does, it helps to activate one of the nerves, the vagus nerve. One of the big nerves in your body that if this nerve is activated, it can help to bring you back into your parasympathetic nervous system, which means into calmness, into function, into relaxation. So stroking the face, below the cheeks, across the eyebrows, just caressing yourself like you're caressing a lover, because you love yourself. So why not treat yourself like you would love someone else? And then another way is you can expand this and caress down around in front of the ear, along the jaw lines. You may feel some spots that actually feel tender, especially under the jaw. These are your lymph nodes. So you can either just stroke across them or even just press and hold a little bit, or do micro, like little tiny circles around it if it's really tender, and then across it you're just gently encouraging the fluids that have accumulated to go into the rest of the lymphatic system and drain out. So anytime you feel like knots in certain areas, it can either be a muscle knot or a lymph node. If you're really interested, look up anatomy. It's fascinating, and you can find out, oh, this is a lymph node, oh, this is a muscle knot. The more you're working with yourself, the more I encourage you to actually look at the different systems so that you can be more familiar with what's going on within yourself. But this stroking is a great way to start getting acquainted or reacquainted with your body. And then I often continue back of the neck, too much hair, back of the neck, starting, you can even go over the top of the head, start on the front, go to the back, all the way down, and then from the back to the front. So you're starting on the front, you're going across the scalp, and you can even do individual fingers, do the whole hand. do the thumbs, especially around the ears, where you're coming along the skull here, and then into the back where the spine comes out of the skull. And then from the back, from the spine, if this is the spine here, you're pulling sideways. Now, depending on your flexibility, there's only so far you can go down. But doing this all the way to all the parts that you can reach from the top. And then you can move down to the arm and out the fingers. I always like to go off the fingers and off the toes or any body parts, so you're kind of like energetically sweeping out any energetic stagnation as well as physical tension. Our minds are amazing, and things that you visualize becomes reality. So why not use it, right? I am going to put my hat on because it is cold in here. But yeah, face, head, neck. These are your first areas. And then you can continue along your collarbone, right and left. You're basically going crossways. You can also follow the muscle lines. But I find for releasing, it is going across is a little more intense. Following with the muscles is a little gentler. And then if you find a spot that's sore, and you know it's not a lymph node, like in the neck, and you're like, oh, even if it's a lymph node, you can use the same techniques. You're just not pressing as hard because the node isn't going to go away completely. But you can circle around the spot, and then you can pull across with various pressures. The lightest pressure that you can barely feel is used for neuron release. So any nerves that are stuck in the tissues, the lightest, gentlest touch and across helps to release that from the tissues in the skin. And then you can increase pressure more and more until you're all the way down to really strong grip, and then you can even cross twist your bones. So it's almost like you're wringing out your bones. So there's very many different levels of pressure that you can use. And if you're using a lot of pressure, like, always remember to stroke it back out into alignment and thank your body for what it's doing, for what it's done, and for putting up with your treatment of yourself, because sometimes you're like, oh, that was a bit much. Because you're basically breaking stuck tissues, which creates like mini fractures in the tissues, right? It's the same with exercise. You're pushing your muscles past the point where they can comfortably do the exercise, so you're breaking them, which forces them to be repaired. And then because they're like, oh, we don't want to break anymore, so we're going to make ourselves stronger. So that's why having that repair, that recovery time is really important. So this is the first step, is doing the self-massage, is breaking apart stagnation, the tissues. And then when you've done that, and of course the entire body, or you can just do parts. I often actually just like doing areas and then letting that recover before moving to a different area, or going to where I am the tightest. Where do I feel the most restriction? What area am I becoming aware of? Where today I was actually realizing, oh, I have some spots in the back here that I'm going to work on more later. So remember, breathe, feel, and then feel into the body Where's the tension being held? Where can I bring that love and light to? Where can I bring that focus to help things to move? And I'll talk about recovery in the next video. Bye for now.